Good morning, sunshines. I am 3 weeks postpartum. Crazy to say. That means she's 3 weeks old, almost a month. Also crazy to say. I just put her down in bassinet, so we're going to see how long this actually lasts with her down in that bassinet. But I'm going to do a video of just tips and tricks of things that I've learned in the first 3 weeks, essentials that I've figured out are essential for me, but also essentials for baby, and then some things that I haven't used and probably won't use or maybe just don't recommend. So let's get into all the fun stuff of being a first-time mom. If you need any recommendations or you're making your baby registry, hopefully this helps a little bit. Okay, so first up is going to be essentials for baby. I went back and forth with doing a baby monitor. I needed some peace of mind so that I could put her down in a room and get stuff done and know when she wakes up and just check things. And a camera baby monitor kind of freaks me out because I've heard of people getting those hacked in. Also, you can look at a baby obviously on a camera and see if they're awake, if their eyes are open. But the other thing is babies like to be swaddled and sometimes it can kind of be hard to see their chest rise and fall. And so I just needed a little bit more peace of mind than that. I also didn't want to be staring at a video screen 24/7. I knew if I had a monitor app on my phone or in front of me, I would just be staring at it. Is she moving? Is she awake? That's just me personally. We need a little bit more peace of mind, but also sanity to go about our day if we needed to. And in the first couple of days of bringing her home, we didn't put the owlet on her. If you don't know what an owlet is, it goes around the baby's foot. And it's basically, especially if you have an Oura ring like me, it's basically an Oura ring, but for your baby. And it's an app on your phone that monitors their oxygen levels, how peaceful they are in their sleep, their REM cycle if they're in deep sleep, light sleep, and also their heart rate. So that gave us just enough information where it was better information than just having a camera in there. Absolutely love the owlet. We actually got it as a gift from my brother and his wife, and they have it as well. They have 4 kids, and I think it was very helpful for them. So they gifted it to us, and we are so grateful for it. The first couple of days, we kept forgetting to put the owlet on her. And if you don't know, newborns make a lot of noises. I didn't know that obviously as a first-time mom. I knew they would make noises when they're awake, but even when they sleep, they sound like they're awake a lot of the time, and they're not. So I repeatedly was just getting up constantly and losing so much sleep those first couple of nights because we didn't have that owlet on her. And the owlet will actually tell you if she's still sleeping, even though you're hearing those noises, if she's in a light sleep, a deep sleep, or if she's awake. And then it also has a little bar measuring on it if she's peaceful or wiggling, and it'll tell you how much. So you can kind of go off of that. And then it also will tell you her oxygen levels, which are supposed to stay between 90 and 100%. So if you're swaddling her, you may not necessarily be able to see her chest rise and fall, but you can look at that and know, okay, her oxygen levels are good, she's breathing, it's all good. So owlet, 100% would recommend that over a video baby monitor for sure. The next thing is swaddles. Our baby sleeps 100 times better swaddled, and we tried the sleep sack. If you don't know what a sleep sack is, I would love for her to transition to this when she's a little bit older, and I'm sure she will. I know most people will do that, but they do have newborn size sleep sacks. So this is for 8 to 12 pounds, and it's fine. I think it's fine during the day more for nap time if I'm holding her and don't want to put full swaddle on her. But if I'm trying to lay her down in the bassinet, she has to be swaddled or she's not going to last more than 10 minutes. And that's just because they love to be cuddled and snuggled, and swaddles are just easier. We have a couple different kinds of swaddles. We have the regular kind, but we also got a pack of ones from Amazon that are the Velcro kind. So if you're not comfortable with figuring out how to do the whole swaddle situation, you could just get the Velcro one. You literally slide them into this little pouch like a kangaroo, and then you cross one side over, it Velcros, and you cross the other side over and it Velcros. So those are super simple, super easy. My next thing for baby essentials, not just burp cloths. Don't get yourself 1, 2, 3. Get lots of burp cloths because you're constantly going to be having to do laundry otherwise, and I hate doing laundry. I don't know about you. So I have a drawer of different burp cloths. These have been great. They're just a smaller size. I have some bigger ones. I have just a bunch of various ones, and can't recommend enough. The bad thing is whenever she needs fed, I'm just in the moment okay, she needs fed, and I get to it and I always forget to have one of these by me. So then a lot of times when she's feeding, it'll kind of dribble down. So when that does happen, I'm oh, I need a burp cloth. So a lot of times I have these lying around everywhere now, on every piece of furniture, just because I always forget to grab one before I sit down and get to feeding. The next thing would be having various pacifiers. We registered for one, or I should say I registered. My husband didn't really do the registering. We registered for one kind of pacifier, and that was these. They were supposed to be specific from an orthodontist to like help when their teeth are coming in, help with previous teething, just making sure like alignment is good and everything. And I work in dental sales, so obviously I was like, yeah, that'd be nice. She doesn't like them. And I never would have thought about having different kinds of pacifiers. In my head, a pacifier was a pacifier. And we learned in the hospital, they gave us pacifiers. And then we also got gifted the Dr. Brown's glow in the dark pacifiers. And we quickly learned that she does not like all of them. She prefers the Dr. Brown's ones. I don't know why she prefers those. I think they're just better suited to her small mouth right now. These are thin and tiny, but I think they're not as squishy. They're firmer, and the other one simulates a little bit more of a nipple. So if you're breastfeeding, I would recommend the Dr. Brown's ones. The ones we got also glow in the dark, which is nice because we'll keep one at the end of her bassinet. And if we can't find it, it's dark. It glows in the dark, obviously. It's very faint, but it's enough to like help you see it. So register for a couple different kinds of pacifiers. That's something I never would have thought for beforehand. We just got lucky and ended up getting a few different sized ones from the hospital, from other people, and then the ones on our registry as well. Next, I would say knotted nightgowns. I absolutely love the knotted nightgown we got. It's from Kaden Lane, and it's so easy. Nightgowns in general I would recommend, but the knotted ones kind of simulate that swaddle effect for them. They're super stretchy. They will last for a while, even out of the newborn stage. They'll go from like newborn, depending on how big your baby is, at least up to 3 months. And you literally just put them in the nightgown. They're extra long, and you tie a knot at the bottom. And it makes middle of the night changings so much easier. You unknot it, slide it up, change them real quick, slide it back down, and just tie a knot in it. It's so much easier. I cannot recommend them enough. I only registered for one, so I only got one. We got a couple other nightgowns, which I still would recommend those over the footy pajamas, but the knotted ones were just so nice, and I wish I had registered for more of them. Highly recommend, especially the Kaden Lane ones. They are so soft, and they actually come with a little matching nightcap. The nightcap we haven't really used yet because she was vacuumed out, unfortunately, so she did have like a little bit of a lump on her head, and it's still kind of there. Those take a couple months to go down, so hers is going down slowly but surely, but we're just kind of trying to minimize the things that we put on her head because of that. The next thing I would say is diaper rash creams, and this will go with another section as well, but get different kinds of diaper rash creams because there are different types of diaper rash. I didn't know that. So I would recommend getting the Aquaphor Healing Ointment Baby. It's for advanced therapy. Definitely recommend this one. This is what we're currently using right now. And then also get another type. This one is max strength. The main ingredient is zinc oxide, and it's a 40%. Pediatricians recommend at least 20%. We have another one that's 20%. That's a little bit less, but get a zinc oxide one for sure. But I would get different kinds because there are different kinds of diaper rash, which that was something that I had to learn about, of course, because we are experiencing some diaper rash right now. And lastly, for baby essentials, get a changing pad. I saw a video where a lady was like, you change your baby anywhere and everywhere. You're never going to use the diaper pad, blah, blah, blah. I completely disagree. We only change on the diaper pad, especially if you can't tell around me. I love just like the clean look furniture. So we have a light colored rug, we have light colored chairs, we have a cream sofa. I love the clean aesthetic. So changing her anywhere and everywhere, not for me. Our hospital actually gifted us a changing pad, and they gave us a diaper bag too, but they have the logos on it. So those are kind of our like, not throwaway ones, but like we keep it in our bedroom. So if people are staying with us, that's her nursery where we usually keep the changing pad. So if we're like changing her on the floor or something, we can roll that one out. It just folds out and we can change her on the floor real quick. So we keep that right by the bassinet if it's needed. But having just a designated changing station, highly recommend. It's so easy, and I'm going to take you and show you the one we got. But there have been multiple instances where I'll be in the middle of changing her and she pees. I know that's usually a boy thing, but she will cry, and when she cries, that's when sometimes she'll be like squeezing and she'll poop on the thing, or she'll pee on the thing, or sometimes both in the middle of changing before I put a new diaper on her. So it's just easier for everyone's sanity if you go ahead and have it, because let me flip the camera around real fast. So this is the one we have off of Amazon, but it's like a silicone type of material. So when those things do happen and she poops or pees on it, you literally can just wipe it up. And then what I'll do as well is, because you want to like kill off any bacteria or grossness that's on there, of course. So afterwards, once I wipe it up and finish changing her and get all situated, I will pick it up and just go put it in the kitchen sink and scrub it down with some Dawn dish soap, just to kind of make sure it's all nice and clean. And then I will dry it off real quick and put it right back here. It also, for when they're a little bit bigger and more wiggly and rolling over, it has this clip, so you can clip them in if you do have a really wiggly baby like we do and she rolls over a lot and you're worried about her like rolling off, then you can clip her into place so she doesn't. And then of course it has a little mobile next to it, so it makes it really easy for changing. Okay, next are going to be the essentials for you, for the moms out there, because I didn't know what I needed, and I put some things on my registry for me. There, if you do baby list, there's like a section that says for the parents on there. I did register for some postpartum stuff for me, and a lot of my friends actually like got random things here and there just to add to their gifts that were for me, but their gifts were mainly for the baby, of course. And I know people were like, or my mom, my mom was like, people don't want to buy stuff for you, they want to buy stuff for the baby. And I was like, you're right. But also, even if people don't buy you that stuff, you will get a discount on your baby registry after it's passed. So even if people didn't buy it for you, if you go and buy it for yourself, then you can use your baby registry discount. So take advantage of it if you can. And if you register on baby lists, you only get the discount for things you're purchasing through baby list. Like baby list is the one sending it to you. So if you're putting like an Amazon item on your baby list, make a separate Amazon baby registry, because you will get 2 different discounts for each one, and the Amazon one won't count on baby list. You won't get any discount. But if you have it on a separate Amazon baby registry, then you'll get the Amazon discount at the time. So keep 2 of them, have the same things on there. I just put the baby list one on my invitations, and that's what everyone used. But then afterwards, anything I didn't get that was like on Amazon, I already had on the Amazon registry, so I could still get a discount on it since it wasn't listed through baby list specifically. So hopefully that helps. That's a good tip or trick, I should say. Freedom Mom, I do think a lot of it was worth it. The hospital is going to give you so much of the stuff. They're going to give you ice packs, they're going to give you pads, they're going to give you throwaway underwear, but they're not going to be the best. I say take everything that's free, because unfortunately the Freedom Mom stuff is kind of pricey. You can use your HSA and FSA to pay for those things, but they're a little pricey. They are better quality and they're way more comfortable, I will say, once you get home, but take everything you can for free from the hospital. But the Freedom Mom Witch Hazel specifically, the foam, this thing lasts a long time too. I'm still using it. I'm 3 weeks postpartum and there's a good bit in here. Definitely would recommend this. I did get the Peri bottle. Is that what it's called? You will get one at the hospital. This is the one the hospital gives you. So you see this one straight up. I had no issues using this. This is the one I stuck with the hospital, and it was fine. This one is more convenient. I will say once I came home and started using it, I was like, oh yeah, this is nice. Didn't really think twice about it in the hospital though. So it is nice to have. Another tip and trick with this, so you don't like lose purpose for it afterwards, use it for yourself, but then sterilize it. And afterwards, once you're starting to bathe your baby and they have lost their umbilical cord and can be submerged, what you can do is use this to wash their hair so that you're not getting any water in their eyes and don't have to cover them. It is kind of like a little, I don't know if you can see the holes on it, but it's kind of like a watering can. So when you squeeze it, it's very gentle and super easy to use on their hair. We've already started doing that, and I definitely recommend that hack, because then you don't lose the purpose of having an extra one, of course. The next thing I would also say to get from Freedom Mom is the ice pack pads, because the ice packs that the hospital gives you are not pads. So they're a little bit uncomfortable too. You break them, and they also won't lie flat. They kind of have like an air bubble in them. So sitting in them and stuff like that is not the most comfortable, versus the Freedom Mom ones double as an ice pack and a pad in one. They're much more comfortable. Again, they're a little pricier, unfortunately, and you don't get that many. That's the downside of them. And the last Freedom Mom thing that I think is definitely worth it is the reusable underwear. We got reusable underwear from the hospital, and I used every bit of them. Don't get me wrong, because when you're throwing them out and stuff, you go through them so quickly, but they were so big on me. And so if I had an ice pack pad, which is heavier than like a regular pad in there, they would like sag down. I'd have to wear like a tighter waistband to like hold them up for me, because they were just very awkwardly shaped for me. But the Freedom Mom ones, so comfortable. They're basically like boy shorts. So I would honestly just wear them around the house as PJs too, because they were long enough for me to do that. So those are the postpartum things, Freedom Mom, that I would recommend for sure. Take advantage of the HSA, the FSA, and getting them through that, or put them on your baby list so that you can get a discount on them, because again, the prices add up for sure. The next thing I would say is nursing bras. I just got a pack on Amazon. I think it was a pack of 6, and someone did actually end up buying these. One of my friends did. Shout out RCN if you're there. But I got various colors of them. So I have a gray one on right now. I have a couple black ones, tan, white, all of them. And these are essential, I have to say. They are so easy. They're so comfortable and soft and stretchy. So they kind of stretch with you. And then when I am feeding, all I have to do is unhook that and it comes right down and I can feed her. And you just hook it right back up. It's also great for the wearable breast pump. That is my next thing that I would say to get. I know a lot of people recommend the hand ones. I am not for it. I say get the wearable one if you're somebody who likes to check things off your to-do list, because then you can pump and go about your day if the baby's down and do things as you need to, or you can hold the baby easily and have a pump on one side if you need to. It's just so much easier. And then if you have these, you can unclip it, put the breast pump on, clip this back in place, and it'll hold it in place for you while you're pumping. So much easier. My breast pump, I have the Zomi one, and it is the wearable one. So if you've ever seen the Mom Cozy ones, it's basically just like that, a different brand. I basically went on Aeroflow and looked to see what breast pumps were covered by my insurance, and I got the most expensive one that went with it, and that was the Zomi wearable ones, and I love it. They're super easy. I can put one in, I can put them both in. I do not pump very often. I pump once a day, usually at nighttime, because my husband is a night owl, so he does bedtime. So I'll pump a bottle for him at night while I go to bed early for him to give her and get her down. Other than that, unless she like sleeps for a really long stretch and I haven't fed her, obviously my boobs will fill up, your boobs will fill up. And so sometimes you have to pump to get a little bit out because they'll start to hurt and you don't want any blockages or anything like that. So I do pump a little bit. I don't want to over pump because then you don't want to be an oversupplier. You don't want to be uncomfortable all the time. I breastfeed all day, every day, and then pump once at night. If I need to, I may pump one extra time if I know I'm going to the grocery store and leaving her at home with my mom, my mother-in-law, my husband, just in case they need the bottle or so. So better safe than sorry in that aspect, but I pump very minimally, and I love the breast pump that I got, so highly recommend. And make sure you go through your insurance. Don't waste your money on them because they have so many options. And even if they don't have the one fully covered that you want, you can get a certain amount covered most of the time. So like the Mom Cozy one, for example, was the original one that I wanted. And then when I checked with my insurance, you could get that one and they would give you X amount of money towards it. So then you would just pay the difference. So to each their own, but I love the wearable one because I can keep cleaning if I put her down in the bassinet, do all the things I need to do. Next thing, along with nursing, other than the pump and the bras, would be having some sort of silverette, especially when you're in the hospital and you start nursing. These are a lifesaver. I did also do, I wouldn't say this is an essential, but when I started, I got the Earth Mama organic nipple butter. This is nice because you don't have to wash it off before feeding her. It's completely organic, nothing crazy in it, no bad chemicals or anything like that. So you can put this on and it does feel amazing if you have really sensitive cracking nipples, dry nipples, anything like that. When you start it sooner rather than later, I would say. And then I would put these over it. These alone were fine with me. I did use this some just preventatively, but I honestly haven't used it in a while because these do the trick. Just keeping any sort of fabric from rubbing up against you will be a lifesaver for you. So these are just from Amazon. They were nothing crazy. Silverettes were definitely an essential. If you want a nipple butter, get that one because it just makes life easier. The other thing is sometimes like if I was going out and wouldn't be able to like pump or feed her for a second, whatever the situation, I would also recommend some sort of bra pad. These are just from Amazon and they come in a little zipper pouch. They're organic bamboo cotton. So this is like a towely side and this is the softer kind of silkier side that goes against the nipple. And these have been a lifesaver too. I will wear these at nighttime especially, because sometimes she will sleep for long stretches. Last night, for example, she did not feed until 5 a.m. So she fed around midnight and then she did wake up, but she didn't want to feed. And I'm not going to force her because she was feeding a lot throughout the day and didn't feed till 5 a.m. Well, that's a long time to go without getting any milk out. And so I did leak a lot when I woke up and these were full of milk afterwards, but then it doesn't soak your bra or your shirt or whatever you're wearing. So highly recommend these. You can rinse them off in the sink when that happens, or you can throw them in with your laundry and wash them that way. So super simple, both of those things from Amazon. The next thing I would say is compression socks. I did not need these my entire pregnancy because I really didn't have any swelling until the end of the 3rd trimester. And I put off buying them because I thought once I give birth, it'll go away, no big deal. No, the swelling got worse after I gave birth. My feet were so swollen and I did not like it. I was so uncomfortable. I finally told my husband, I was like, can you just run to the grocery store and go get some compression socks? Don't get fancy ones, just buy a pair, because I literally wore them for a day and a half, 2 days. And after that, the swelling like went down and was completely fine. But they were needed because the swelling was very uncomfortable, especially after birth. So I wish I would have just bought them when the swelling started at the end of the 3rd trimester. It would have just made life easier. The next thing is button-up pajamas. So if you see the ones I'm wearing, these are Victoria's Secret. I actually got these as a gift when I was a bridesmaid, but I would recommend purchasing more. The buttons just make it so much easier to breastfeed. It makes life a lot less chaotic if you're not trying to pull up a shirt or do any of that. These are the soft. There's Something Soft is what the brand is on Victoria's Secret's website. They are pricier, but they are worth every penny. They're so comfortable. I will be purchasing more once they go on sale because they are a little bit pricey on that front. The next thing for the moms, these are the last 2 things, electrolytes. You are going to be thirsty, you are going to be hungry, get electrolytes. I prefer the Element brand, and the 2 flavors I like are the watermelon salt and the lemonade one. The raspberry would be my 3rd favorite, but they are absolutely necessary, and these have really good ingredients in them. Again, I just get them off of Amazon. You can do whatever, do a subscription if you want to. Lastly, I would say have a Kindle. I keep this in the pocket of my rocking chair because when I'm feeding her in the middle of the night, I can read. It keeps me awake. It gives me something to do. It makes it go by faster. Even when I'm feeding her throughout the day, I have this at all times, plus a Kindle. Obviously at nighttime, I don't want to turn on a bunch of lights. My husband's still sleeping, whatever. This you can see at night, obviously. So during the day, if you want to have a physical book, have the physical book. But at nighttime, the Kindle is a lifesaver for me. So that's going to wrap up all of my mom-specific essentials. Hopefully that's helpful. We do have a visitor. She woke up from her bassinet, but she lasted about 30 minutes, which is pretty good during the day. That wraps up the mom and baby essentials. The next thing are going to be the things that I have not used and probably wouldn't recommend getting. Again, this is only 3 weeks, so like maybe some of this could change. I don't foresee it changing, and they may not necessarily be bad things. They're just things that maybe I wouldn't recommend over other options. Not too many of them, of course. But the first thing is sound machines. Everyone said you have to get the little hatch alarm, baby hatch alarm. I have my own hatch alarm, which I'm obsessed with. If you're an adult and you need a good alarm clock, absolutely recommend the hatch. The baby one is also a sound machine, a nightlight, all the things. I personally didn't want to do a sound machine for her. I don't like having sound when I am sleeping, and obviously they're sleeping next to our bed. The other thing is they get used to that, and so then it gets a little bit more difficult when you travel. You always have to have that with you. It gets to be a lot. I don't think the sound machine is necessary. So we did get gifted the hatch, the travel hatch, and another sound machine, and we have not used any of them, unfortunately. I haven't returned the hatch because I do think when she's a little bit older and maybe like uses alarm clocks, or honestly maybe I'll use it for myself, then like maybe it'll come in handy, something like that. Or maybe if she needs it as a nightlight when she's sleeping in the crib in there on her own, then I think it could be useful. But the sound machine aspect, we don't use at all, and I don't foresee us ever using it, to be honest. But to each their own. If that's the only thing that gets your baby to sleep at night, absolutely use it. I don't blame you. Next is something I registered for and didn't get, and I'm glad I didn't get it. It's the bottle washer. I definitely see why these would be helpful, just to like throw all your bottle stuff in there. You can also wash your, oh goodness. You can also wash your pump parts in there, which would definitely be convenient, because I will say it is annoying to have to wash bottles and all your pump parts right after and everything. But the other thing is you have to have like the specific tablets that go along with it. It takes up counter space. It's just extra. I think if I had gotten it, I definitely would have used it just for the convenience of it, but it definitely isn't necessary. So if that's not something you're absolutely like bent on having, then don't put it on your registry. I would say put it on at the very end, like right before you get the discount, so you can use that discount on it, but don't put it on like during your baby shower, because someone might buy it for you and you probably want other things off of it more than you want that one. The next thing, footy pajamas. Listen, anything baby sized is cute. Anything. Pants, shoes, socks, whatever. The footy pajamas are adorable, but they are so inconvenient. I still have her wear all of them because we did get gifted a lot of them. If you're going to buy footy pajamas for your baby or for someone else's baby, buy the magnetic footy pajamas. The buttons and the zippers, they're not the worst. Don't get me wrong, but they definitely aren't as quick when it comes to changing versus the magnetic ones. They just magnet right back on, snap themselves right back up, and it makes changing a lot quicker. If you hear her little noises, she's going in and out of sleep right now. Next thing that I think is completely unnecessary is a separate detergent to wash your baby's clothes, because if you're washing your own clothes, obviously the baby is going to be touching your clothes. So you should be using whatever you use for yourself for your baby. So get yourself and your whole family something non-scented and clean to use. Don't use it on just your baby's clothes because that kind of defeats the whole purpose. She's going to be up against you, up against your clothes all the time. So then you're defeating the whole purpose of that. Find a clean detergent, use it for everything from then on out. Lastly, the thing I wouldn't recommend is those newborn sleep sacks. I showed it in the beginning. I'm not sure where I just threw it, but the newborn sleep sacks specifically is what I wouldn't recommend. I would still register for a sleep sack just for the older age because eventually they do kind of need to transition into that and out of the swaddles. But I did one for an older age and a newborn, so I was like, oh, that'll be convenient. Like I said, a newborn, they're used to being all tucked up and warm within the womb. So when they come out, that's why they like being swaddled so much. It's kind of what the hospital told us. And they'll be swaddled a lot in the hospital. So that's just what they're used to. They like to be warm and cozy and snuggled up. That's why they sleep better with you rather than in the bassinet by themselves. Definitely focus on the swaddles. Don't get the newborn size sleep sack, but still register for the older age of the sleep sack for sure. All right, so that's gonna wrap up everything that I don't use or maybe don't recommend as much for baby. Now I'm going to move into just some like tips and tricks and things that I've learned along with being a first-time mom in these first 3 weeks. The first thing that I learned, which was very confusing for us at the hospital because we were kind of being told different things. When you're in the hospital, if you're in the state of Georgia, you will get paperwork to fill out for the birth certificate. You will not receive that birth certificate yourself. What that is for is it is a birth confirmation. So then they will take that paperwork and the hospital will then send you a birth confirmation within that first week of coming home in the mail. The birth confirmation isn't much. It's literally a piece of paper that has like the same information on it, but it's not a birth certificate. It is not a legal document. So when you have to add your baby to your insurance, that doesn't count as a legal document. You have to go and get the birth certificate at the vital records office of the county the baby was born in. That was also very inconvenient because we do not live in Fulton County, but the hospital that we went to was in Fulton County, and the vital records office for that is not close to us. And I didn't want to take our newborn baby with us to those offices where there's just a lot of public people, grimy, gross stuff, whatever. So I did have to have my mom come down and watch her this week so that I could go do it on my own and get the birth certificate. The process of getting it and getting it printed, super easy. It's $25 and then you can get as many copies as you want. It's just an extra $5 for every extra copy that you get. But I literally walked into the vital records office. You go on a computer, you type in the baby's name, the birth date, your name, the father's name, and hit OK, and then it's like the DMV. It gives you a ticket, you sit and wait, you go up, you pay for it, and they hand you the thing. The end. But that does have to be submitted to insurance within a certain amount of time. You can order it online. The problem is my insurance needed it submitted before the time that we would potentially receive it. So if you order it online, it does take up to 10 weeks just to process before they'll even send it to you, which I'm sure it probably wouldn't have taken that long. But I couldn't risk it because I needed to add her to my insurance, and I checked and the birth confirmation did not count as a legal document. I had to have the actual birth certificate. So that's something new. It varies state to state. I'm not from Georgia, so I obviously did not know that, and it was very inconvenient because I was like, I need to drive to go get this and I can't leave her by herself. I don't want to take her to this public place with me. So that was a little inconvenient, but my mom came down and we went and got it and got everything submitted and it was fine. The next thing that I learned, so if you have a newborn, their poop will be like a bright yellow color, kind of mustard seedy. They poop on everything, obviously, if it comes out of the diaper. And we used just like our regular stain remover to try and get it out the first time it happened, and it didn't come out. And we were like, oh no, it was on one of our Kate and Lane pajamas that we loved. And so my mom actually found out and did some research. If you take cold water, don't do warm water because it'll set the stain. Cold water in the sink with Dawn dish soap, rub it out, you will get the majority of the stain out on its own, and then anything that's left, put it outside in the sun and the sun will bleach it, and then run it through the washer with the laundry and it comes right out. She has pooped on several things, her own and my own, white things included, and this worked like a charm. Like I said, honestly, just doing the Dawn dish soap, I got like almost all of it out. If there was anything left, then I would put it in the sun, but some of the things I didn't even need to put it in the sun for. I could just use the Dawn dish soap, throw it in the wash, and it was good to go after that. So that was a very necessary tip and trick because you don't just want to run through baby clothes and be throwing them away because they have stains or wearing them with gross yellow stains on them all the time. Next thing I have learned recently within the last couple of days, but she had a little bit of a witching hour, and we did not know what a witching hour is, but an otherwise calm baby a lot of the times after 5 p.m. and between 11 o'clock at night may have this random hour window where they're just screaming, crying, there's nothing you can do to console them. We had that the last couple of days and couldn't figure out why. Upon further research, after my mom being here and helping us out some, a newborn baby really shouldn't be awake for more than like 30 to 45 minutes at a time. And when my mom was here the first day, she was awake the entire time. Like, she did not nap from 2 o'clock in the afternoon until she went down that night. And we did have a witching hour window, and that she was so overly tired. Don't let them get overly tired. That's what I've been doing today, and it has worked like a charm. Once 30 minutes hits, I'll start trying to get her to get tired and get down for a nap, and that has worked well so far, I will say. So that was something new. Wake windows shouldn't be more than 45 minutes, and witching hour is a thing. And if you have a newborn that is consistent with the witching hour, it's supposed to subside by 3 to 6 months. But obviously that's a long time to suffer through that, because the screeching, I mean, it's like a banshee, like the banshees. Is that what they're called? The things in Harry Potter, the plants that scream. I mean, it's ear splitting, and there was just nothing we could do to console her. So like, for your own sanity, but also it's like so devastating as a parent to be like, I don't know how to help you. You can't speak. So that was just like really disconcerting the few times that it happened to us. So anything we can do to avoid that, we are going to do. Next was the different types of diaper rash. There are a few different kinds. We Googled it. You have your regular diaper rash, you have a yeast diaper rash. There are so many different kinds. So like, do your research on that if your baby is getting diaper rash. If it doesn't subside by using whatever's recommended, the zinc oxide, the Aquaphor, to keep the area dry and clean, then call your pediatrician, because they may need like an antifungal if it's a yeast one. It could need an antibiotic if it's bacterial. We also didn't think diaper rash would happen as quick as it did, but it did. Within like her first week, we were noticing a diaper rash, and we were like, oh no. So also, if the diaper rash is not there, be preventative with it. Like, go ahead and put on a diaper cream of some sort, whatever was working, to prevent it from coming back. That was another thing we learned, because we were like, oh, there's nothing there, so we don't need to worry about it. Nope, you should still be putting something on there to keep the area dry, especially if you're not changing her often enough. The next thing is transferring them into their bassinet. We could not get her to stay in our bassinet. Like, I had a few times where I was able to, because she was in such a deep sleep that transferring her was easy. But another thing that my mom taught us and that we saw on videos is putting pressure on their chest. So when you put them down, you should always go feet, then head. We already knew that. But then right after you put them down, putting a hand on their chest and putting a little bit of pressure so that they don't feel like you just left them there. Let them calm down a little bit, and then very slowly remove it. The deeper the sleep they're in, the easier it's going to be, obviously. But that will get them to stay in there a little bit longer. Even if at first it was like 5 minutes, as soon as you would put her down, she would open her eyes like she knew you were gone. Even if it lasts 15, 30 minutes, that's better than 5 minutes. Sometimes she'll last hours in that bassinet though, if we transfer her properly. So just make sure you're doing it as gently as possible and keep her swaddled, warm, put that pressure on her, and then very slowly ease away. Don't make it a shock to their system. The next thing we figured out is that she also loves walking in general. Before she was really like understanding sound and stuff, walking. So I would take her on the walking pad and she would knock out within the first like 10 minutes. She still does. So when she's been awake for like that 30-40 minute window now, I will take her, walk her on the walking pad, and that soothes her. I don't know if it's the sound of the walking pad or what, but it's the same thing in the stroller. If I put her in the stroller and take her out on a walk, she pretty much sleeps the entire time. So I don't know what it is about that. She loves it. She also, now I would say hitting the 2.5-3 week mark, she's listening to sounds more, and she'll actually like turn her head towards the sound, and obviously probably doesn't understand what's going on, but she loves singing, humming, music boxes, talking to her just very gently. Anything like that kind of like will calm her down and get her to focus on something. So walking, talking, singing, music, anything like that has been super helpful, especially in this last week where she's able to kind of register it a little bit better. Okay, and my last 2 tips that I learned, the hospital is going to give you so much stuff, but they're not going to tell you they're giving it to you. They have all these things for you to use in the hospital, but they're not going to openly tell you to take them home with you. Take home everything. All of the diapers, for us, they will have them on a little rolling cart in like a makeshift bassinet thing, and there will be drawers or cabinets or something underneath it that'll have diapers. It'll have wipes in it. It'll have extra pads, ice packs, things like that for you. Take all of it. So we were in the hospital. We didn't get discharged for a little over 48 hours. And I asked every day for extra of the stuff. I asked for extra of the underwear, extra of the ice pads, everything. And at the end of each day, I would take everything I didn't use and put it in a bag and have my mom take it back to the apartment with her so that you are stocked up, because I don't want to say it's free. You pay for your hospital, obviously. So take the stuff, take it all. Don't feel bad about it. Ask for more. We asked for more stuff each night, and we took all of the wipes home. We took all of the diapers home, everything. and there actually was some stuff that they gifted to us. The only thing is a lot of the stuff they gifted to us had like the hospital logo on it, so we probably won't use a lot of it, or it'll be like kind of trash ones where if they get ruined we don't really care. But all of the health essentials, the diapers, the wipes, the postpartum stuff, take it with you. Don't be hesitant to it. Empty out that sucker and ask them to refill it. They will not bat an eye at you, and they will not think you're crazy. Take advantage of it. Lastly, they will also put your baby in swaddles at the hospital. They're not like super cute or anything like that. They're not great quality, nothing like that, but take them with you, take them home. We had 3 swaddles. They're not cute swaddles, but what they are good for is, because I don't really care about them, is we put them over the baby Bajorn bouncer back there. If you can see, that's one of them, because I don't care. If they get stained, they get stained. If they get pooped on, they get pooped on, but it's better that gets pooped on and we clean it or has an accident on it and we can throw it in the washer than the actual baby Bajorn itself. Same thing for the car seat. My mom actually gave us that idea. If the baby poops on the car seat and it has an accident, it is such a pain to pull all of that off and have to wash it and put it back on, versus if you just put a blanket or swaddle down that you don't care about that can get stained and you're not worried about it, then you can just take that off and the car seat itself is fine and you can throw that in the wash, throw it away, do whatever you want. So just get some swaddles or blankets that are not super nice. Take the ones from the hospital, keep them. That's what we've done, and it has been essential because she did have an accident on that baby Bajorn one. That is a lifesaver. We can just wash it, get the stain out with the Dawn dish soap if we want to, and we don't have to think twice about it. All right, I think that's gonna wrap up all my tips, tricks, essentials, things I recommend, don't recommend for babies, moms, postpartum. Hopefully it was helpful for you guys. If you have any tips or tricks or things you recommend getting after the fact, go ahead and throw them in the comments. So obviously it's only been 3 weeks for me, so if there are things that I'm gonna need in the future, let me know. Or if some of these things didn't work for you, why not? I feel like everyone's so different. Social media has so many different point of views. Take it all with a grain of salt. It never hurts to try it. You don't know what you need and what you don't need until it happens, but I feel like hearing why people use things and why people don't use things, you can kind of apply it to yourself and know yourself a little bit better. As always, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one, and thanks for joining.